The tragedy at Robb Elementary School shocked the world. But the real story didn't end when the gunfire stopped. It began when the explanations started. Rumors had been spreading for weeks in Uvalde about a feeling that the town had lost its sense of safety. And none of those rumors prepared anyone for what arrived on May 24th, 2022. Early that morning, an 18-year-old named Salvador Ramos left his home, shot his grandmother, and drove toward Robb Elementary School. In a sleepy West Texas town, a single car and a single rifle would unravel a community in the space of an hour. Ramos forced his way into a fourth-grade classroom and opened fire. 19 children and 2 teachers died. The raw facts are simple, brutal. What followed was a slow, public unspooling of something far worse. Not only mass murder, but the erosion of truth. At first, officials spoke with certainty. They said law enforcement had rushed in, exchanged gunfire, and ended the threat. Parents clung to those words like lifelines. But over the next days and months, video, witness testimony, and official probes drew a different picture. Dozens of officers, local police, school resource officers, county deputies, and federal agents had assembled in a hallway outside the classroom and waited. For more than an hour, bullets and cries came from inside, yet officers did not immediately breach. Some said they were awaiting a tactical team. Others said they feared an ambush. Parents listening at the door pleaded with them to go in. Those pleas, recorded and later released, haunt every review. As investigations deepened, the narrative hardened into something uglier than failure, a pattern of misrepresentation. The Texas House of Representatives Select Committee and federal investigators concluded that officials at multiple levels had given misleading accounts of what happened, describing active gunfights and heroic breaches that, the footage showed, had not occurred. Press conferences offered language that comforted a grieving nation, but conflicted with body cam video and with the memories of survivors. Documents and testimony pieced together a sequence of hesitation, confusion, and then, after the shooter was killed, a scramble to align the story with what people had been told. The conspiracy was not a secret cabal in a dark room. It was an institutional choreography of words and omissions. Law enforcement leaders, under enormous pressure, repeated narratives that absolved command failures and shifted focus away from the most damning moments. The missed chance to end the killing sooner, the failure to protect vulnerable children, the coordinated talking points that minimized responsibility. Families would later call it a cover-up, a choice to preserve reputations over truth. The release of internal videos and transcripts made the deceit visible. In raw footage, officers whisper, joke, and contradict statements made on television. In investigative reports, officials were rebuked for gross negligence and for providing false or inconsistent public testimony. Lawsuits followed. So did legislation and debate, federal and state inquiries, public hearings in which parents challenged elected leaders, and renewed arguments over training, school security, and how quickly officers must act in active shooter situations. But accountability in the wake of horror is never simply a matter of policy papers. The town of Uvalde endured funerals, forever altered classrooms, and the daily task of remembering the names of the children lost. The conspiracy, the effort to recast what happened, rippled outward, eroding trust between citizens and the institutions charged with their safety. It made the town a symbol, a place where not only violence occurred, but where the first answer handed to grieving families was not the whole truth. This is a documentary of grief and of the ways institutions can fail when the stakes are lowest and the consequences highest. It is a story of a single hour stretched into years of inquiry, of parents who demanded to know what really happened, and of a nation forced to ask how easily a public account can be reshaped when those in power prefer comfort over confession. The horror of that day was not only the murder of children. It was the slow, bureaucratic retreat from candor, a second violation endured in public that still echoes down the halls of Robb Elementary and into every small town that believes its protectors will tell it the unvarnished truth.